So I'm going to continue packing Mother's Day orders, and I thought it would be a good chance for me to just multitask a little bit to just update you guys about how the collaboration went and the pop-up. So I always prepare my boxes before I start. So just a little recap on how my pop-up went. It was amazing. My pop-up was last weekend. Today is, actually today is Saturday, so it's already been a week. I spent the entire week crafting to get all the orders out, and I think this would be probably the second last batch for the pre-orders and my online orders, because my items are all fragile, so I have to really pack them so tightly. Make sure they don't move around a lot during delivery, because I don't know how delivery drivers handle orders these days, all the packages these days, and we can never be too sure. It's always my nightmare that something breaks along the way, which has happened to me only once so far, so I'm just grateful for that. So anyway, back on topic on the pop-up. So the pop-up did very well. I almost sold out, which is something that I'm always very grateful for, and it is a common occurrence actually at Public Garden, which I'm always so happy to be a part of. The crowd this time was quite insane. It was so crowded that like sometimes there was like jams along the lanes and people couldn't even move at all, which I think has only occurred like a few times, not always, but yeah, it happened this time. So I was so glad, and because this pop-up, I actually brought over the Mother's Day glass dome plus peony diffuser bundle. So I was really excited and actually really nervous in the beginning, because it was really bulky and heavy to bring along, and even though my husband is driving me, but it's always so much to stack and carry along. And yeah, so in the end, it all turned out well. I brought about 10 glass domes for the 2 days. I brought more on the second day, and in the end they were all sold out before the end of the second day. So I'm really grateful and really sorry to those who were disappointed because they couldn't get one. I have informed them to purchase online, and online I actually have the same bundle, but it is with this collaboration with Slow Live Create. This is so beautiful. This is a bookmark set. It comes with a bookmark, a postcard, and a card in an envelope. The goal is, like, you know, it is very cohesive with the florals, with my peony. Put this together so that my customers can actually write their personalized message to their mom and then give it to them together. So this is only for online purchases, so I am glad so far we have reached quite a good amount of sales, but not sold out yet. Hopefully we do. My cutoff for Mother's Day is in 2 days. Yep, so this is for Ewa. Finally got her order done. So I always have these packing slips, and these slips always show the order and what my customer orders, because I have so many customizable options for my business. So I actually need this to keep track of, you know, how many is it a bundle of 2, or you know, like what kind of customization, because there's 3 different kinds for every diffuser that people order. So I have to really take note of that one. So that's why I have my order slip ready, and then once it's done, I'll write down the order, the date that it's supposed to go out to my courier, so I can keep track, and then I'll put it aside. So the next one I'm going to pack is for Jovina. This is a really big order because she ordered 3 of the collaboration Mother's Day gift sets. Because the order is so big, I don't have a box that's big enough to fit everything. Actually I do, but those boxes are way bigger, and those are more for my bulk orders, so it doesn't make sense. So I thought the best way is actually to just pack her order separately, and I'll be sending 2 parcels to her, which she's completely okay with. So she ordered 3 Mother's Day gift sets, so so here's 3 of Soul Live Create's bookmark bundle over here. I'm so scared that I forget something, so I actually have a small note over here to help me remember, because I tend to forget small things like the paper bag, especially when I was packing during the Christmas season. So as from my previous vlog, you will have known that I've already packed the glass domes. I have actually added labels to them so that it's clear what it is inside. So for the Mother's Day gifts at Jovina, I actually ordered 1 white tea and 2 English pear peonies, and all these are in pink color. So for most of my orders, it's actually they ordered either white or pink for the Mother's Day gift set. So I guess because I actually had all my pictures with the pink color one for my product photos and my social media content, so I guess that's why it's the most popular. Well, actually pink and red has been the most popular colors since the beginning for all the diffusers. So yeah. The least commonly ordered color would be actually green. I don't know why, because I love green, so I love the green one. So the goal is to make sure that when the box closes, it's sort of like just nice, so things are not flying around. And to make sure that doesn't happen, I'm going to add packing peanuts to actually fill the corners. So these days I actually have a thought of, you know, because Bask In The Glow's anniversary is coming up. It is on 4th of June, and my small business is turning 3 this year. So it's been such a ride, and this has been, you know, I feel like time has passed so fast. It's been 3 years since I became self-employed, made all the decisions myself, stumbling along the way many times, but still getting up. So, you know, I feel like it's really something worth celebrating. So I have been, you know, planning a lot of big things for the upcoming anniversary launch. But unfortunately, because I have actually a secret collection that I'm actually preparing for. It was actually intended to be released during the launch day, the anniversary launch day. I was working with this one manufacturer and it did not turn out well. I changed my mind a lot of times because I didn't actually consider the weight of the diffuser, and I chose a box that was actually a little bit too flimsy, but I loved the design so much. So we went on, we were already doing, and we already had mock-ups and prototypes digitally on how it would look like, until just before the draft prototype, the actual physical draft could be made on their side. They actually asked me, I can't remember what they asked me, but after that, then we suddenly had this thought, like, oh, you know, how about is the weight of your product? And she actually told me that the specific box was actually for clothing, which is like scarves, really light pieces. So when I told her sort of the estimated weight of my product, she actually told me that the material actually be too flimsy. I mean, I appreciate her honesty, but I was so taken back after that. I was actually sort of trying to convince myself to still get it and sort of figure out a way to make it work, but in the end I decided not to go that route because it is too much of a risk to take, and to be honest, it's really not cheap with like sample fees and all that. I am ordering through Alibaba, and I have had bad experience over there before. So when it came to that, it felt like my worst fears would happen. So I decided to discontinue with them. So the next thing I did was I actually approached the manufacturer who is doing my diffuser boxes, which I've already received and love so much, and so I knew that I could trust them, and after a little bit of research and inquiring with them, they actually could do something similar to what I initially envisioned. So I decided to go with them instead. But because that sort of design of the box is not really, it needs a longer time to be manufactured as compared to my normal diffuser boxes. Basically, my normal diffuser boxes are just jewelry packaging, which is the drawer kind. So With this other one, it is sort of a different type of box, so it actually needs time for them to manufacture, a longer time. So what happened was they gave me an estimated of about 1.5 months, and that was the end of April. So I actually wanted it to be released 4th June, which is a really tight time frame, because if the time frame that they give me is accurate, then I would be sort of receiving the goods either early to mid of June. So after deliberation, I decided not to give myself that stress, and then I decided to push the launch. And it sort of was a little bit of a bummer for me, because I feel that I don't want to have so many launches throughout the year. I don't have the choice right now, so I am going to push back the launch, and I have no idea how long when it will be released. I'm actually aiming for early July at least. And with that, we have come to the end of packing for this batch. Hooray! Today is 9 April and I received a very exciting package today, and I'm going to open it on camera sort of to also catch my first reaction to it. So if you have watched my previous vlog, you will know that I'm in the midst of designing my very sort of first customized packaging, and yeah, just really excited. It has been quite a journey, you know, through discussions and talking to the manufacturers from Alibaba. And from my previous experience from Alibaba, I actually purchased on the platform when I first started my business. So a little background, I started as mainly a candle focused business in the beginning, but sort of my diffusers are the one that got popular, so I decided to build on that for my business. I actually got my candle jars from Alibaba when I first started. It wasn't a very big batch. It was like, I think probably about 200 jars to begin with, and it was basically a nightmare. I requested for samples, and when they sent me the samples, of course, sample wise, everything was more perfect as compared to the full quantity one. So when the full quantity of the jars came, I could not use a lot of them because they were either dirty with black marks, and these are markings that cannot be removed with alcohol wipes at all. I've tried many methods to try to clean them off, but they are still pretty imperfect. I had this frosted jars with gold lids. So what happened was the degree of frostiness for the jars were not even consistent, so I couldn't use a lot of these jars out of the 200 that I got. So I guess also after that I didn't really sell as many candles as I hoped, so it was sort of a sign. I always tell myself that if I never ventured into making diffusers, Bask In The Glow probably would have closed down a long time ago. So yeah, so really blessed. I believe God has guided me on this path and showed me where I should be working and focusing on for my business. So that has been well. So without further ado, this is the package. It's pretty heavy in a medium box. So if you have watched my previous vlog, I was designing new packaging for firstly my diffusers, and secondly my fragrance drops, which are my fragrance oils, and also a third one which is a mystery one that I will not be revealing yet because it's still undergoing a lot of change. So what I have here today is the fragrance drops boxes. So I'm going to just open it right now, and just to note, this is my first time opening. Through the discussion, I actually decided and opted not to have a sample sent to me beforehand. So this is actually the full quantity. May sound like a silly decision, but in the end, that was the decision I made. Now I can't think of it, maybe I should have received a sample first, but anyway, what's done is done. So currently some first impressions. So I got two sizes because I have two different bottle sizes for my fragrance drops. One is a 4.5 grams and I also have a 25 grams. I actually ordered a matte surface laminate, and the laminate really feels really good and really classy as I want it to, and also the printing is actually really good. Like, it's not blurry or anything, and very sharp. The words are very clear, so that is really good. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, it's everything that I envisioned. The actual, so the bottle, this is the small one, will be wrapped in tissue paper, and then yes, it fits perfectly. So for reference, this is my previous fragrance drops packaging. So I have this label that has the scent at the top connected to the label. It tells you it's the fragrance drops, and I have this manually printed instruction label at the back here, so you can see that the packaging really simple and just like pasting the labels on. So what I actually opted for was this that is custom printed for me. It has my brand name at the side here with my social media details, and then I have fragrance drops here at the front, and it tells you 4.5 grams formulated in Singapore. And the background has this really pretty artwork as well, so I love it so much. And at the side here, I finally have it printed on the box. This is the how to use instructions over here, and the ingredient that is used, which is paraben, phthalate and animal cruelty free fragrance oil, which is the fragrance drops. So this is the packaging, and it fits so nicely. Okay, this is for the 4.5 grams. I'm going to try for the 25 grams bigger size right now. It's perfect. So comparing the before and after box for my bigger fragrance drops, I guess first thing is you can see the difference in the size. Yes, like I could not find, this was the best size that I could find for my drops, but it was clearly a little bit too big for it, so it was really shaky when the bottle is inside. But because I double wrap it with tissue just to make sure that it's more snug. Yeah, so this previous design, I just have fragrance drops and my brand name over here, and I have the label with all the instructions at the side. But what I did not like is that my printer for these labels, their labels are not like that sticky, so sometimes the labels, they peel off at the side, which is something I really did not like. It was just, I have to use like an extra tape, like, you know, something like correction tape, but the sort of like the sticky tape form of it, I have to use it to just adhere, but sometimes it just doesn't, like, you know, it's just like easily peeling at the side, which really gets to me sometimes. And I also have the scent label at the top here to tell you what scent it is. I'm going to do the same for the new boxes, but I just think that these labels could really just be improved. So this is how the bigger one looks like right now. I'm just so happy about them. Oh my gosh, they look so good together and they feel so good. Like the matte laminate is exactly how I imagined and dreamt of, like my ideal, you know, like feeling on the packaging. Yeah, I'm just so excited to like take product photos with this, and yeah, I'm actually looking forward to receiving my diffuser boxes. They are going to finish production today and send it out today. But so far, this is the very first, and I am so happy with how good it looks, how satisfying it looks. I can't wait to use all these and show everyone these. So I'm just really excited.
And a few days later, my boxes did come, and even though I don't know what I was expecting when I ordered them, they came, and I felt that, oh my gosh, where am I going to store all these boxes? So this is my first reaction to the boxes. They were packed so well and I was so impressed with the quality. This really means a lot to me because I've always wanted custom packaging for my brand, and even though I always had, my labels stuck to my boxes and all that, but this feels completely different to me because having everything printed, everything in such good quality and looking so professional, it is always something I dreamt of. So this is how the diffuser box looks like, and I really love how the sort of rose gold embossing actually shines with the light, and it's exactly what I wanted when I placed my order and was actually discussing with the designer for the manufacturer. So without further ado, the first thing I did was to test with the wax seal to see if it gives the effect that I wanted, and yes, it did. It really did. It looks like, sort of the wax seal going over like the dried flowers. And if you don't know, actually the wax seal symbolizes the design of the diffuser inside the box. So that is really the way that I like to show and symbolize it on the packaging. I really love how it looks like. And what's really important is that, firstly, the wordings were all really clear. The printing was really good. And I was also so impressed that the boxes are so solid that I really think that they would protect my diffusers really well compared to my previous boxes. So that is an extra plus. So the first thing I did was to actually shift over one of the sample pieces that I have because I want to see how it looks inside the box. And I actually had a nightmare that the height of the box would not be good enough for my peony diffusers, which are the biggest designs I have. So this was a nervous test. And once again, yeah, I should have had a physical sample shipped to me before getting the full quantity, but it is what it is, and I was really lucky that it fit perfectly. Yes, it fits exactly perfectly, and I was so amazed and happy with it. Really lucky this time, I think. Through the rough measurements with and discussions with the designer, that everything came through really well. I really love how the full look looks like. I used brown shredder paper in this video, but the actual one will be white because I don't like how the brown sort of stands out more than the diffuser. And with that, I spent the next few days organizing all the boxes, and this is when I really realized I needed more space, storage space, both inside my storeroom and also in my studio. And that leads to a studio revamp. Once again, I shifted around some furniture to make more space, and I wanted to keep things a little bit more minimalistic in the studio and organized at the same time. So that will be for my next vlog. I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!